Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode 136. Gaming news, all the gaming news. With me, George, as always this week, joined by Bobby, Newshound, to my paparazzi pup. How's it going, my American cousin?
It's going good, man.
Excellent. Now let's kick straight into it because, what have you been doing this week?
Literally Diablo 2, Demon Souls.
No, in your life, tell me about what life held for you. You cooked anything nice this week?
Yeah, my mother came over, my stepfather. So I made my famous chicken legs, which maybe I'll throw down in the Discord. You know, why not?
In the culinary delights section.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying I'm a chef, but I'm saying that I can throw down this chicken legs or chicken thighs, whatever you want. And they loved them. And I made so much, I wasn't sure how much. So I called my mother-in-law. I said, hey, you want some chicken legs? She goes, oh, sure, I'll take some chicken legs. So I gave them to her. She calls me back like 2 hours later. Where'd you buy these chicken legs? No, I bought them at the local store. It's like $2.50 for like 8. She was like, what do you mean? It's too cheap. I'm like, no, I just bought the chicken. Like I made and marinated and cooked the chicken. Oh my God, that was from a restaurant. I'm like, no, this is the restaurant. Okay. 2 things I can do: throw down chicken, and I can throw down steak in a cast iron frying pan.
Is that your special move?
I feel like it is. I got so good with the steak, I can just like angle the cast iron frying pan. I bought like a rubber handle for it, a little spoon, and flip all that juice on top of the.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah, that I watched.
Basting it.
Just flip that right on top of the steak.
If only they could see the way you'd sort of cranked your left arm, cranked your right arm, and that finger flick. Second to none.
That is basically almost like as fast as I hit the R2 trigger. It's how I'm basting that. If you can imagine, no, look at that. Yeah, just like that. It's amazing,
wonderful. Really. Question about your chicken thighs, your chicken legs. Are they coming with the bone on?
But sometimes you pick it up, it falls off.
Right, because I have this social issue with chicken bone. Like it freaks me out. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like this admission that I'm eating this sort of descended from dinosaur-like creature.
For some reason, I can make mean chicken cutlets too. But for some reason, I feel like the chicken legs, chicken thighs, they taste much better because of the bone. Almost like when you make a steak, you want some fat just so it can cook with its own juices, I guess. The fat makes it better. And then, if Eva doesn't like the fat, so then after I cook it, I just cut off the fat. There you go. But I feel like if you don't have no fat, like in a hamburger, what are you eating? A dry burger, that's for sure.
That is true. This episode was entitled Gaming News, latest gaming news. But coming up, we've got Bobby's top techniques on how to get your shortbread correct, and I'm going to make a meringue in the
a Ziploc bag goes a long way, bro. A Ziploc bag.
A Ziploc for the
chicken, 100%.
Oh, for the chicken. Okay.
Oh man, because then you can really get your fingers inside the skin and everything without dirtying your hands.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you got to rub it. You have to massage it, bro. You just can't throw season on and leave it there. You got to use the extra virgin olive oil, put the seasoning in there, and then just rub the chicken. Just nice massages. Every piece of the chicken, just give a little rubby tubby. You know what I'm saying? It really helps with the cooking.
Not only is he a great chef, but from the hand gestures I've seen, he's a great lover too. Let's bring this back. Let's bring this back on topic. Bobby, what you been playing?
What I've been playing?
Yeah.
Diablo 2 and Demon Souls. Stressing myself out. Don't know why I decided to do that. At the same time. And then I'm trying to explain to my stepfather about the co-op in Demon Souls. And I have to explain white and black tendency and how co-op can be difficult if he keeps dying on a certain level. The world will get more black tendency.
Yeah.
Which means you might miss out on things in white tendency. But I said, don't worry about that because I can always invade you. We have the password protector on. So I can invade you. You just kill me. And then you get more white tendency. And just trying to summon has been, it's been a journey. Yeah, he's just not used to it. Diablo, he can invite me from the main menu, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Demon Souls, a little bit of, takes a little bit, you know? Probably takes longer to summon me than we survive.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Is that impacting your playthrough of the game?
No, because I'm still playing. When you have password protector on, it doesn't matter what level I am. I can always join his game. I just get like they bring me to a certain percentage of his level. So I may have everything or beat all the bosses. I could still help him at any level. And they do like a restriction level. So I could be level 99 in game 3 and still play his game because of the password.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool, yeah.
So that stops people invading your game and his game, but you can still join each other with this password.
Exactly.
It's like a From Software gamer tag.
Yeah, because I feel like in all the Souls games I played, Demon Souls you get invaded the most. And they love hiding in stupid places, and then you're looking for the person, and they give you a kick. You fall off a cliff, you're dead.
I see. Sneaky. So is that all you've been playing, Diablo and Demon Souls?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I have Elden Ring. I have it installed. I have Horizon Zero Dawn installed. I bought that little external memory. And I'll tell you what, it was very simple to put in. But
you've expanded your hard drive?
Yeah.
Which one did you get? The one I linked to you? Or a different one?
Yeah, that had it. Yeah, I sent Eva the same link. So I got it for my birthday. Well, Christmas. So putting it in was very easy. But
is that the one that the heat sink was the screw in top as well?
Yeah. And then I updated it. So it's updated, whatever. And I felt like a genius putting that in there. I felt like I was a computer whiz.
Did you?
Yeah, just I put it in, put it down, little screw. I felt like I just, I don't know. I did something very important with a computer. Because I don't know anything about computers. Not one thing.
I'm glad to hear it was simple, and that heat sink, because I can't remember the make of it now. I'll pop it in the Discord.
Yeah.
There's the actual lid replaces the actual plastic PlayStation lid, doesn't it? And then you just screw it down, but it's the heat sink as well. So if you're not that technically proficient, it makes a super easy solution, and you also get an SSD that's as quick as the one on the actual PlayStation motherboard.
Yeah.
So,
listen, if I could do it, literally anyone can do it. It's that easy.
Okay.
It's harder removing the PlayStation cover than putting that bad boy in.
Yeah, that is a tension fraught moment, isn't it? I opened mine up to clean it, and I was like, "Oh, it's not that dirty."
You just need the pressure. You need to push it down. It's not going to snap. But I see where you feel it is, and that's where people get nervous. But once you do it a few times, it's okay. I actually ordered black plates from a company.
Yeah,
that has more fan in it, and it's sleeker, and it's black, so it'll hide better in my TV display thingy, whatever. When they come, I'll take a picture.
Oh, okay.
I bought them in January. They're going to be shipping in sometime in March.
Because the official PlayStation plates themselves are out now, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'd prefer those, or this makes the size smaller?
It makes it smaller, and I feel like it does add more airflow.
More?
Yeah, because there's a little what do you call it? Like a design thing with holes to let more air out.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
What make is that?
I don't know. I'll pop a Discord.
Okay.
I have to look for it on my email. To be honest, I don't even know what the company's called or when I ordered it exactly, but I know they'll be here in March.
Well, that's now, so anytime soon.
Anytime.
Let me tell you, I am exhausted. Let me tell you what I've been playing. Finished Horizon Forbidden West, main story.
Beautiful.
And all the side quests, as far as I'm aware, apart from the melee.
Wow.
Yeah, apart from the melee pits and the arena. Well, let's get the melee pits out of the way. They try to teach you combos.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like end of level game. I'm level 48, I think I am. So I think the top level's 50. So these shouldn't pose a problem, but I can't get the timing right for some of these combos, and you can't move on to the next test until you pass this test. But the end, once you've done all these combo lessons, you get if you do one button input even slightly off, you fail the test.
Similar to Ghost of Tsushima.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you like video games, podcasts, and reminiscing? I'm actor, video game writer, and total sweetie pie Connor Savage McCabe, and on each episode of Call Me By Your Game, I sit down with a guest for an intimate look at a special game from their past. Did you and your dad beat Spyro the Dragon over the holidays? Or was Halo 4 the one thing that united your roommates during your senior year of college? Stories like these are what Call Me By Your Game is about. From video game content creator Janet Garcia to Hades voice actor Courtney Vinay's, I interview wonderful comedians and game industry friends about these memories. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe someday you'll call me by your game.
Less forgiving in that regard.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And it's only in these moments where you have to absolutely nail it. In a fight, you get multiple times to get the combo in, and it's fine. But in this one, you have to move, time, move, and get it absolutely right and knock the guy down before you can progress to the next one. Now, once you've done all the training, you get to fight one-on-one with a pitmaster. And that's easy. You know, if you're high level enough, you just walk through them as if they're just wheat in a field and you've got a scythe that's sort of, right, you're down. I had one guy the other night. I got through the training, got through to him, and just absolutely mullered him. He's like, "Okay, I give in." Almost immediately, I was like, "Yes, you will. Yes, you will." So that's a little bit frustrating and kind of holding me back. But I probably didn't really. 72 hours I've put into that, by the way.
Wow.
And it's beautiful. Towards the end, you get a different creature to travel around on. Don't want to spoil anything. It's on the front of the box, you know, so maybe not too much of a spoiler, but it changes the game. Normally, once I'd been a place a few times, I would fast travel. But now I have this other form of travel. I live in the world map. It's absolutely breathtaking. I flew over some trees in the jungle area and some birds scattered out of the trees.
Yeah, I would do the same thing if I had like that.
It's
I really get to see everything the game design put in that you would normally miss if you did that.
And I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I've been toying with the idea. Like, I liked Horizon Zero Dawn for the gameplay, but wasn't that attached to the characters. In this one, I don't know what's changed, but I am, and that's a plus thing for me. The actual side missions now, the acting in those and the animations is really, really good. Like, when you ask questions, people walk around, but they always return back to the starting position in a very kind of natural way for you to ask the next questions. The animations tie in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I said it was a bit hollow last time. I was thinking I was harsh. You do things in the environment that change the towns and other bits and bobs. And yeah, they kind of say, hey, hero of Meridian, Aloy does all this, does all that, does all that, does all the other. The kind of everyone you walk by announces you and, says these things. But I suppose that's no different to most open world games. So yeah, I would like more. I've not followed them round on a night experience to see whether they go to sleep or wake up. I don't think they do, but for the most part, every centimeter of the world is beautiful to look at. You can just spend ages looking at the game.
What I kind of like sometimes, if you do a side mission, but don't really know like what it's tied into, you just happen to find it, and you return to the NPC that may have requested it. Oh, I see you already cleared out this whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, sometimes you have to go back and do it again.
Yeah, and do it again. Yeah, which was frustrating.
Like in Mafia 3. Sometimes you just was drive around the town, you cleared out a building. Then, in my case, literally like the next mission was to go back to that same building. And everybody's in the same spot. But the piece of paper you needed wasn't there.
Oh, that's painful.
That's kind of annoying. So I wonder if this game does that.
Yeah. It much like the original one, it will actually just change the conversation to say, oh, I've already found a couple of those. Or, oh, actually, I've already got one of those.
See, that's amazing.
Yeah. The first one did that, and that was slick.
Yeah.
This one with the animations and the other bits, and it's just a world that I didn't realize how much I was enjoying until I looked how much time I'd spent and thought about. And then when I got back on it, I would go on it and I would role play, I'd ride around on the Raptor, and just the gameplay loop of shooting the robotic creatures is really just when you zoom in and you've maxed out your concentration and you can just pick off like the antlers on one or the power unit on the back of another one. It goes down, then you can hammer it again, it exposes its weak spot. And then you're dealing with multiple threats at the same time with different enemies, and you're switching ammo on the fly and crafting ammo. Yeah, it's rewarding. Absolutely. I've lost hours in a very short space of time to it and thoroughly enjoyed it. You're going to love it when you get on it, because it's kind of taken, and it's kind of, open worlds are a bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla has everything, all the same ingredients really in this cake mix as Horizon Forbidden West, but it tastes totally different to me.
Mm-hmm. Like every time you return to town, Ravensthorpe, whatever it's called, the blacksmith is still hitting that anvil. Like, you don't take a break, bro?
I mean, there's elements of that in this, but I think it's the refinements and the quality of life changes, like the way it's just slick to travel around if you need to. It's slick to do this, that, and the other. It just feels like they've had the time to refine and refine and refine. Give an awful lot of money as well, probably $200 million in 5 years. But I suppose, is that the incubation time now? Yeah, probably. So the other thing that's been keeping me from sleep is Gran Turismo. That is...
Everybody's playing this but me.
Oh,
literally, I went online yesterday. Every single person on my friends list, Gran Turismo.
Everything I loved about, say, 2 and 4 is present in this.
Wow.
And I'll just run the scape section and look at the car driving through these photorealistic worlds that they've managed to get hold of, these photos of real environments that they drive the cars through. And I'll go and just watch that for hours. And
really?
Yeah. And the racing, when it's installing, you get to play a section called Jukebox, or no, what is it? Music Rally. That's it. And there's these songs that play. And you have to get round within a certain distance, I think, from memory, before the song ends. And you have to hit these checkpoints. And I went in, and I don't want to drive with any aids on. I think the only thing I've got is like these little dropper markers to say where you need to hit for the apexes, which I actually think is way better than the line that goes red or green, depending on how fast you're going, and literally paints the line on the track. I found these little dropper markers to be probably one of the best things I've experienced in a driving game. If you know how to do a driving game, I'm not saying I'm Lewis Hamilton per se, but it just decomplicates everything and keeps the screen clear. But that music, the music that I've been listening to on there is great. There's this one called Vroom, something that I probably wouldn't even normally listen to, but it's absolutely belting.
Really?
Oh yeah. And the music just generally is great. There's lots of classical bits in there and remixes of classic stuff that have done to a bit more of a dance soundtrack. And yeah, it's great. Like I've got, I don't know, 20% of the trophies unlocked. Some of them are like distance trophies as well. So I've like,
oh my God.
Yeah, you've got to put the mileage in. Got a couple of the licenses allow me to progress quite far. I'm like on menu 25. It's got this cafe where you go and they give you this book and they say, oh, we want you to collect. This guy's like a connoisseur of cars. He's like, oh, I want you to collect 3 French hot hatches, and these are the races you have to enter to do it. And you normally enter with a car that's themed around that car that you're trying to win. You do it up in the shop, and you can change the wheels, and you can service the cars again, and you can wash them, and it's all presented in probably the most simplest of menus you've ever seen, but it's got more life, heart, and soul in it than a lot of games that have got like real flashy menus and whatnot. I don't know what it is. And I noticed this one guy in the cafe, I think his name's Tom, probably about right, and he's like a little critique of the cars. So you pull up in different ones, and he says, oh, I'll see you for, I think the first time he popped up, I'd just bought an Alfa Romeo Mito, a little, 1.3, tiny little compact car. And he's like, oh, the Mito is something special, very elegant, shades of the 8C in the lights. You'll feel very special in that. And it's like,
oh, wow.
Thanks, Tom.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not spoken. It's all just text on screen again, which is, you could argue is the most simplest cop-out, but it's just done in such a way, that the visuals and the little history of the cars that you get, it's nice. There are some nice animations the first time you enter the different things on the menu. I personally wish they happened every time just to add a little bit of slickness, because with the SSDs, you don't lose anything with a loading screen. It's just done and in. But no, really enjoying it. Beautiful at times. Sometimes, obviously, it is a sim, so it's probably processing all the stuff under the hood rather than on the screen. But for the most part, in the replays, it looks great. In the escapes mode, it looks photorealistic at times. But other than that, I think the takeaway is it's super enjoyable to play. And with the pad, you can feel the accelerator as it bites, and you can literally feel. I think that's the biggest reason why I bonded with the game straight away. You can feel in the pad moving across left and right as you lose adhesion on the track. So you can modulate the throttle, which has also got like feedback to it, and then modulate the brakes as well. You can actually feel them as they bite, and you can ease off and let go. Normally PlayStation 4 pad, for instance, you just pull the thing down and it's just flat out or brake. And this one's actually feeding back to you through your fingers, and it immediately grounds you in the game. It's defaulted to the in-car view as well on the settings that I chose. And you just, once you kind of start looking through the windscreen at the road ahead and just forgetting that you're holding a pad, and you just kind of go with it with the throttle and the brake. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because, RGT hooked up his rig.
Did he?
I'm very curious to see.
Especially actually I am. I should check, really, see how far he's got with it. He's probably finished it by now, knowing him.
That's got to be amazing.
That sounded like a truck pulling up outside.
Yep, that was my phone. That was work.
Okay, well, I think we've done enough gaming, cooking talk. It's the news. We've scoured the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, Infinite doesn't mean forever. Alongside the Halo Infinite March update, the series multiplayer lead Andrew Witt has announced he's moving on from 343 Industries. In a brief message over on Twitter, he thanked Halo fans for all their feedback over the years and mentioned how it'd be an honor to lead Halo's multiplayer design team. Witt says he's excited for what's next. Right now, it's not clear who will fill his role. He says, today was my last day at 343 Industries. It's been an honor leading the MP design team over these years. Thank you to all Halo fans for your feedback over the years. We've made this game for you. Going to take some time off to relax and recharge, but I'm excited for what next. Interested to see where he'll go next. Halo Infinite, obviously, out there. Multiplayer lead leaving. Strange timing, considering they need to, in the next bit of news, they need to double down on that. But maybe with these projects, they get them to a point. He's now got that done, so he can sign off. Where is he going next? I think that's the interesting question.
It is. And then the next bit of news.
Yes.
But Infinite doesn't mean it's happening. Infinite does mean it's happening. Sorry. I read that wrong. I always ruin the news. In the latest Halo Infinite
update beautiful. That's
from March, head of creative Joseph Staten provided an update about the game's co-op, Forge mode, and Season 3 update. Here's the breakdown, courtesy of Halo Waypoint. For co-op, in terms of co-op, 343 won't be able to ship the campaign network co-op on May 3rd, Season 2. Plans to get it out later in the same season. Co-op's complete form will be comprised of a full-featured 4-player network co-op and a 2-player split-screen co-op experience. For Forge, the team is already fighting and closely working with a small group of community creators. Public flights will take place later this year, and the team has a goal of shipping Forge alongside Season 3. And for Season 3, while a majority of the team is currently focused on Season 2 co-op and Forge, some other folks in 343 are already working on Season 3.
Now, I think with this, just let it come when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. The game's great. There's plenty in there for people to do. Co-op, slightly annoying, but at the end of the day, so much fun to be had. And when these things come, let them come be right. Let it be slick and perfect. Let it be the homage to the Halo franchise this game deserves it to be. Don't just, I think with that, just let it simmer, let it marinate. Let it happen. They've had a matey leave, fine. Just take some time out.
Yeah, no need to rush.
No, this is almost like a service game in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So it will build over time. It can't be judged on what's happening today. I'm not saying it's No Man's Sky because it's obviously launched to a way better reception than that. But look, as an example of a game that can grow and change over time. Look what could become.
Most potential for sure.
Definitely. Up next, shoot. Here we go again. Obviously, we're a PG podcast. There's no swears here, but GTA 5's new performance modes for its PS5 and Xbox Series X versions have been revealed. Rockstar announced today that GTA 5 would boast fidelity and performance mode when it launches on PS5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S this month. First up, fidelity mode limits the gameplay to 30 frames per second, but boosts the visuals up to a native 4K with ray tracing on PS5 and Xbox Series X, while the Series S supports upscaled 4K. Performance mode boasts a crisp 60 FPS across all 3 flat platforms, while the PS5 and Xbox Series X will support upscaled and 4K resolution in this mode. The Series S will sit back at 1080p. Finally, the PS5 and Xbox Series X will offer a performance ray tracing mode combining 60 FPS gameplay with upscaled 4K graphics and ray tracing available. There'll also be new features featuring alongside this. The PS5's DualSense controller will offer haptic feedback and adaptive triggers taken on weather conditions, damage, and more. There'll also be 3D offered on the PS5 as well as spatial sound on the Series X and S. GTA 5. How does it continue to exist?
I'm not really sure.
Is it the greatest game ever made? Because I've never played it.
To be honest, I never played it either, so I can't say. Obviously, something must be happening to have this game be on. What was this released?
I think it came out on the Xbox 360 and PS3.
So this is the 3rd generation system it's been on.
Yeah.
with like the 97th update.
Yeah.
Clearly, it must be popular.
Clearly, it's popular.
And people must be playing for them to do all this. So they must have people in the servers all the time.
That's a scary thought, isn't
because
it?
I can't imagine them doing all this upgrades for the third generation of the system that it's been on and do it for like the two people who are playing.
Second best selling game of all time, but probably the one with the most microtransactions in it for the online.
First? Oh, Minecraft?
Yeah.
Something about Grand Theft Auto 5 must be special to keep doing all this.
I suppose to you and I, we enjoyed Red Dead 2.
Mm-hmm.
That same story level and expertise was applied to that. Yeah. Multiple characters to get to know and interact with, multiple distractions to do and get involved in. One would imagine that would make a pretty great game.
Yeah. But I think Red Dead Online is kind of boring. Kind of failed. Kind of wish it did more because it could have. But I don't think there was proper direction.
No.
Whereas Grand Theft Auto 5, you could literally team up with anything popular, make a car. Oh, here's a little bit of, Fast and Furious, 9020. Then put some cars in there, little, and boom, money. Or do a little heist, boom, money.
Fast and the Furious 90210, the crossover.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Let's have a look what's next. Oh, that's going to cost you, sir. During the long-term post-launch support of Gran Turismo Sport, Polyphony Digital added countless new cars to the game, making them all available for purchase individually at varying prices. For Gran Turismo 7, the approach to microtransactions has shifted and some are taking issue with it. Basically, the in-game purchase is now boiled down to buying credits, Gran Turismo's currency. On the PlayStation Store, you can spend $15.99 or $19.99 to pounds or dollars respectively to receive 2 million credits or less for lower denominations, of course. What this means is instead of picking and choosing cars you want with your real world money, you're effectively at the mercy of the in-game economy. If there's a vehicle you want for 3 million credits, you'll have to earn them legitimately through play or fork over the cash. Potentially the cars that were one price in GT Sport could now cost you much more if you were to buy credits. Obviously, this is no different to many other games, but still not great. Combined with some of the game's more desirable rides rotating in and out of availability at the Legends car shop, it's understandable that some players are disappointed in this approach. It's worth noting you'd have to spend any extra money to get anywhere in GT7. I've played it, and if I hadn't wasted money on wheels and mods and nonsense for some cars that I was like I modded some cars to try and get them to be competitive, and got lost in the weeds of like, well, if I've modded that, I might as well mod the outside and I'll paint it this and I'll put these wheels on it that, and then I'll have to. And before I knew it, I'd blown a lot of credits on Drivel. But then I got my head down, did a few championships and another few races, and before I knew it, I had 120,000 in the bank again. And it's like, yeah, I don't need to worry about buying credits in this game. If you finish a race without touching anybody, which is a clean race bonus, you get another 30,000 credits. String a few of those together, like, yeah, admittedly, every now and then, racing's racing.
I almost feel like the microtransaction at this point have been just made for adults with money who don't have the time.
Yeah, possibly. Although,
all right, I'm 40 years old. I'm playing Mortal Kombat, 13, whatever. I don't have time to go up, down, pause, jump, punch for a fatality. So you know what? For $5, I'll just push R1. I get to see the fatality. I think it's awesome. And the $5 is nothing to me because I'm an adult man with a job. You know what I mean? Like, but as for a kid who's asking their mom, it might be annoying, but I really feel like that's what microtransactions have become. Just adults like us who love games, who may not have time because we have a life, things get in the way, and I can't wait for the 9th race to get $1 million to get this one thing I wanted.
True.
I mean, I just thought about that now.
Well, I was thinking, you know, I could probably throw down $15.99 on
Yeah, right?
But you don't. Let me tell you now, you absolutely categorically do not need to. I haven't sold a car yet either. I don't even know if it's possible, but I assume it is. Anyway, you can definitely get the cars you want without touching microtransactions. You might just need to spend some extra time on the track to afford it. Instead, as I say, again, this is a very common thing. Games these days, and Polyphony has already expressed its plan to support the game into the future. This was always going to be a life service game, and these microtransactions are part and parcel of that, but don't let them get in the way of what is, in my opinion, a fantastic sim racer. How do you feel about Gran Turismo 7's microtransactions? Do they bother you? Will you be boosting your credits or get your favorite cars faster? Give us your thoughts in the Discord. Bobby, are you in the Discord?
Yeah.
Am I in the Discord?
Yes, sir.
Is your brother's mother's cousin's uncle in the Discord?
He sure is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Is your boy
Gotta get him
Marlon in the
there.
Discord?
No, I'm not even sure he knows what Discord is.
Let's get him hooked up. Let's get him an IT Zoom session with Bo Baloba.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
He'll learn right there.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
He's not the show's IT guru for nothing.
Exactly.
Community manager, everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's no Discord without this man.
He carries me to bed on a nightly basis. Not in that way, but he picks me up and sort of almost smothers me, he wraps me in a blanket, swaddles me, and then carries me upstairs like a fetus. He cradles me in his arms. Yeah, he's very big. He's very strong.
Yeah, he has nice skin too. Very smooth. Very smooth.
Why?
I
don't know why.
When he suggested something, like he suggests something for the Discord, it's not really a suggestion. It's like, here's what we're doing, but in the most polite way that just makes sense. And he asks us if it's okay, but in reality, he's just letting us know.
Yeah, he's just letting us know.
It's a beautiful thing. It's absolutely beautiful.
Come with this another beautiful idea for the
Can't ask for a better Discord guru, really.
No. He just makes it happen. If you want a poll to decide on if Bobby's chicken marination technique in the bag is better or worse than Finchie's marinate it in a jar, there you go. You've got it.
Hey, listen. Now that guy can cook.
He can cook.
That guy can cook. He makes me think about the food he's making. And I want to try it. But I'm too timid. Because I feel like he really threw down in the kitchen.
If there's a section that he owns, it's definitely Culinary Delights.
If you just look at that and scroll, it's like, damn, I'm hungry.
I use it to substitute food.
Yeah.
So I'll eat something really bland, like a piece of bread and butter, but I'll look at the culinary treats and it's like I'm eating what's on the screen.
Like there's this place, I mean, you could buy dough to do things, whatever. Or dough, or however you make spaghetti, whatever. You could buy it. He makes it from scratch.
He does.
So can you just imagine what that tastes like?
I'll bet it's
like I go to the store, I buy it, it's in a clear plastic bag. It weighs whatever. It costs X amount of money. They probably made that in bulk.
Oh, yeah.
This man made it just for this meal.
Should we rename this show Culinary Delights?
I don't even know, bro. But it's making me hungry. Let's get back to the news.
Get something on order.
We got Pillars of Nothing.
Okay.
If you've been looking forward to playing Obsidian RPG Pillars of Eternity Deadfire on Nintendo Switch, you might want to read on. After confirmation, the game was coming to Nintendo Switch way back in 2018, followed by a delay. Publisher Versus Evil has apparently canceled the title for this platform. This information was shared over the Versus Evil Discord channel on February 27th by Reddit Nintendo Switch, I guess, or via Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, after much deliberation, we have decided to move forward with Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire for the Nintendo Switch. This news follows a form of announcement in February last year when the publisher stopped releasing patches for the Switch version of the first game, Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition, despite unresolved issues which the publisher blamed on the hardware. Now, this was a game we were thinking about getting, but me and my stepfather to play, but I think it's turn-based.
Right.
So that was a big no for me. Big BXX for me.
You don't like turn-based games?
No. And there's a new Marvel game coming out. I think it's Marvel Sledge. Forgot what it's called. And it's turn-based.
It's a shame you can't just enjoy that.
It's just really annoying. I just don't like it. I think it ruins the flow of, like Final Fantasy back in the day. Oh, they're walking around, little village. Oh, fight. You walking around here. Oh, another fight. Like, I'm just trying to get to the other side of the map, guy. You know, like in some games, you could see the enemy and you try to walk around them, but they run at you. Right. I get it. But I just think it ruins, for me, it ruins the flow. It's obviously huge because there's loads of them. I just find it boring.
Yeah, I guess in a way, they're more like a sort of interactive visual novel.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know I'm fighting this big bad boss, but I also appreciate the fact that it's given me unlimited amount of time to figure out, do I want to heal? Do I want to attack? Use magic? Like, in a regular RPG action, like, there's no time. I have to do it on the fly and hit. Heal, hit, run. At least I could do something. Here, I feel like and sometimes you miss. Because basically it's rolling the dice.
Yes. It is.
So all that time, 20 energy. Oh, I missed. Great.
So you're not sad that Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition isn't coming to the Switch?
Me personally, no. But I'm sure there are fans that are really upset. And I get it. It sucks when your game gets canceled.
It is.
And I feel like this game is perfect for the Switch.
Yeah, I agree. Why would it not be there? Well, more news. Even Babylon must fall. In the lead up to Switch exclusive Bayonetta 3, fans have been keeping a close eye on its developer Platinum Games. With this in mind, it's another eventful week for the Japanese company with the launch of its PlayStation and PC title Babylon's Fall. It's a new cooperative action RPG live service game published by Square Enix. Unfortunately for Platinum, the game hasn't got off to the best start. It's reportedly flopped on release, with Steam DB stats revealing around 650 concurrent players at launch. As highlighted by VGC, Square Enix's other live service game Marvel Avengers had about 28,000 players in the beginning and was also branded a failure over time. Early critic reviews and user reviews of Babylon's Fall haven't been favourable either, and if you've seen any footage of it, yummy. And although you have to pay top dollar to own it, it's still apparently filled with all sorts of microtransactions such as premium currencies. It's worth noting how this title had its own separate team working on it. Platinum's Sol Cresta, a self-published title released on the Switch last month, left a much better impression, even if it was a little bit pricey and didn't do much to stand out against other games in the shmup genre. During an interview with Famitsu last month, Platinum Games president and CEO Atsushi Inaba mentioned how the company was able to create more games that could be enjoyed for a longer period of time, hinting at yet more live service games. Bayonetta 3 is up next for Platinum. This one is being published by Nintendo, which sort of explains why Hideki Kojima and the rest of his team have been so quiet during development.
Interesting.
Live service games. Is this the future of gaming? Because PlayStation have announced they're working on several thousand, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean, live service games. I don't want to see that in a game like Horizon. I don't mind it in Gran Turismo. But no.
If they do spin-offs of certain things, it's very possible. Like The Last of Us 2. Definitely should not be online game. It's 100% story game. But there were fractions there.
Yeah.
So if you can make that a little live service game to try to maybe, like a For Honor, like try to take over maps with different people and take over this area, get bonuses for the team you picked. Yeah, I can see that being fun. People love it.
Yeah,
people
I'd
love,
play that.
like even it. I mean, I haven't played Horizon yet, but if there's factions there, and they want to go that route to have another co-op experience with it, why not?
Yeah, that would
as long as it makes sense. Don't just give me, a live service game just for no reason.
Yeah, as long as it makes sense in the universes. Yeah, agreed. That's what makes. That would get my buy-in if it was done like, here's the main story, here's something you can do on the side. That would be acceptable to me. Might even dabble in it. The Last of Us Online is great to see what they're going to do with that next gen. And the rumors of the camps and settlements and people on your team and trying to clear an area and making, that to me sounds very fascinating.
See, like Red Dead Online, just going back to that, like there's nothing in it for you besides personal glory or personal things that I want to do by myself in the game. Like it's my own character, I put my own outfit, my own horse. I'm doing a bunch of roles, but I'm not really doing anything with the community, let's say. So now if I can become my own character in like The Last of Us 2, and I pick a faction I believe was the best one for me, but the community boards go up and boost my character, winning or losing, that would be very exciting, I think, for some people. They feel like we're doing something. And then you have a community, whatever, get together on the headsets, become friends. That's what it's really about.
Yeah, agreed. Next bit of news.
We got in 2042, the battle rages on. When I first read this, I thought it was going to be the sequel to 1942, but in the future. But I was wrong. Battlefield 2042 maps are getting a big change as part of an overhaul in the near future. Taken to the official Battlefield 2042 website earlier this week, EA DICE outlined 5 key areas of improvement needed for the shooter's maps. The first area of the issue is traversal, because after hearing player frustrations related to how long it takes to travel between base and flag camps, EA DICE will actually be moving around spawn areas on maps to reduce complaints that it felt like a walking simulator. Another area of potential improvement is intensity. EA DICE writes that it can sometimes be too chaotic when fighting over objectives in the breakthrough mode, and so it's reviewing whether it makes sense to keep the mode as a 128 player experience or drop the overall count to 64 players. Next line of sight is being changed significantly because players feel like there are way too many flat plains where players can shoot at each other at increased distance. EA DICE is also looking to bring improvement to paths towards objectives in various maps, making it easier to understand how to get from one objective to the next. Similarly, in a line of sight, cover will also see improvements so players have more protection when traveling between objectives. Right now, none of these improvements have a potential release window in Battlefield 2042, but right now, the developer's immediate focus is going forward, making improvements to the Kaleidoscope map for both Conquest and Breakthrough modes.
So to all the Battlefield fans out there that thought they weren't getting the love, well, looks like they're putting the effort in. Absolutely. Big open plains is always going to lend itself to getting sniped without being even, knowing what's going on. But maybe that's real life, but who knows? But they can drop a few vehicles in there, no doubt, to break up that. I haven't played a Battlefield game in an age. It's never really probably my cup of tea, but I know people have liked it. Tom wasn't keen, but then others absolutely thought it was brilliant. So, yeah, again, live service game, isn't it? Let's see where this is in a year's time. Probably getting a sequel for all we know. But, if it doesn't and they just keep this somewhere they can just keep pumping updates to, yeah, it'll work if you're a Battlefield fan. Happy days. Last section of the Bumper News Show. Community corrections.
Yeah.
Helen Mirren and Michelle Pfeiffer
Mhm.
are, thanks to RGT, I think within 6 years of each other. Oh, let's not get this wrong again. Because imagine
Let's not get it wrong again.
Imagine that would be beyond. So over on the community correction section of the Discord, this is where you can go and let us know that we've made mistakes, either on our technical knowledge, our gaming prowess, or some other random fact that we spat out there that's not right. And Retro Gamer Thomas got in touch to let us know that Helen Mirren is 76 and Michelle Pfeiffer is 63.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that? 13 years?
Yeah.
They're not the same age.
No.
So,
but they both look great.
They do. Yeah. But
I can't think of an older woman that looks as good as these two women from the top of my head.
No.
I don't need a Wikipedia.
What that might know a better looking woman of that age.
Well, I mean, it would just at least have the ages, like I'm sure you can Google women over 60, actresses or whatever.
If you're listening now, I don't think it's safe for work to Google hot women over 60 on the work's laptop.
No, definitely not. You're going to go someplace where you will get in trouble.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, with all that said and done, it's time to wrap up because there's a man at the gates wheel spinning endlessly for the last God knows how long, and he's managed to submerge himself in the actual road. He's become one with the road. So, Bobby, let me ask you, if we've missed something in the news or they've got an opinion or take on the news that we missed, how could the assembled masses get in touch and let us know that we are just a very a desert rat's whisker of a hair above average?
You could reach us at Twitter or Instagram at Unofficial Controller Podcast. They can email us at questions@Unofficial Controller Podcast, or they can join the Discord, which is how RGT corrected us. And the actual community, what's it called? Community corrections section.
And that's also where they can go and look at all the different food that you guys have made.
Yeah. It's really broken down very nicely.
It is.
Someone's having a sport conversation, but below politely threw in the sports section. And the conversation, he didn't tell everybody to go to the sports section. It's almost like we knew we had to go to the sports section. Which I think is beautiful.
It's very well behaved.
I needed help for Halloween, for last year's Halloween game. All of a sudden, boom, there's a channel
dedicated to Halloween games.
People help me. It's a miracle.
It is. It's a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure if someone's a new dad, all of a sudden, dad advice. I'm sure it's going to be there soon.
That's a great idea.
Where can't we take this?
To the moon?
We could eventually.
I wonder when Elon Musk finally sort of, terraforms Mars and people are driving around on Mars. I wonder if we could be the first podcast played. It's a dream.
I mean, why not? That'd be pretty dope.
This episode as well. Time for Tea, I think it'll be called. Anyway, Stingray embedded himself and became at one with the road in more ways than one, because he's also hooked up with a wheel and a rig. Yeah, he's got the new Gran Turismo game. He's not even shy of admitting it, and for that reason, I see him in a Nissan Bluebird. It's now dropped to the ground. He's got neons. He's got a body kit. He's got a great big spoiler. But when I look closely at the spoiler, it's actually Mumsy's ironing board.
Wow, that's great.
Stingray's doing it on a budget. Absolutely. Unfortunately, he didn't take the cover off. So it's got Mum's sort of tweed ironing board cover on it. And a spill.
Did you see the Last Duel?
The Last Duel?
Yeah, with Matt Damon and Adam Driver.
No.
Stingray kind of has the Matt Damon mullet, which I really am appreciating from this close up.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, I'm just saying he's just waiting, just observing.
I don't even know what I'm looking at with Stingray anymore.
I mean, look at him. Look at him.
Last time I looked at him, I don't want to look straight at him because you can't look him in the eye because
No, you can never
it's
look
like
him in the eye.
Medusa. It turns you to stone.
Super disrespectful as well. When I talk to him, I look at his nose.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to look just at the bottom edge of his chin.
Yeah. I tried the Widow's Peak. That was not good.
That's very close to the eyes. So that's danger.
Too dangerous. And I'll never do it again. And I also apologized.
I once looked at his eyes in a reflection in the actual side of his car,
and
it was like kaleidoscopes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how he sees out of that thing. But we don't really have to know. He just has to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. With that all done, it's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingray's boot. What's nestled between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy copy Battlefriend all this week. These are the new release highlights from this week, March 7th to March 13th, 2022. Listeners, these are out in digital. Physical will be by the time the podcast in your feed, but could be region dependent. Wait, stop. What am I doing? Remind me about Destiny 2 and Pokemon when we talk about what we're hoping to play, because I've played 2 other games this week. Totally forgot about them.
Well, go ahead. Go for it.
What, do it now?
Why not?
I thought it might be better off covered in the.
All right, we'll cover it at the end.
In the, what you.
I'm excited to see you did more games. I feel like I've been stuck on a repeat.
Games.
Beautiful.
Anyway, first out the boot, we got Distant Worlds 2 on the PC March 10th. Distant Worlds 2 is a vast, pausable, real-time, 4x space strategy game. Hey, do you know what? Whatever.
See,
have you picked your mummy?
Yeah, by default, really.
Okay.
Yeah. Up next is Submerged Hidden Paths for PC, PS5, Series Xbox Series S, PS4, Xbox One, March 10th. Boat, climb, interact, and explore in the beautiful ruins of a sunken world. I'm pretty sure this will be also hidden in the retail section.
Well, actually, I think it needs not to be, because I'm sure this was one that Fincher, our digital artist, and if you want any goods by the mighty Fincher, you've got to head over to Comic Pictures on Etsy. But he sent me a linky poos for this. I'm sure he did. And it looks, if it's the same game I'm thinking of, I think it's it's going to be a gem.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time.
Keep your eyes out. Up next, Time Loader on the PS4, the Xbox One, and Switch, March 10th. Time Loader is a story-driven puzzle platformer with tiny robots, alternate realities, nostalgic music, primitive tech from the 90s. That's also worth checking out if you have a moment. What next?
Workshop Simulator.
Now, if only it was Worksop. Worksop's a town in Nottinghamshire near here.
Mm-hmm.
Worksop. Wouldn't it be great if it was Worksop Simulator? Go stand outside the charity shop on the main street of Worksop.
It's crazy. For the PC, PS4, Xbox One.
Do you know what? Something tells me Ginge is from somewhere near Worksop.
I'm sure. He has that accent.
Maybe it is just Worksop Simulator. Should we just leave it at that? Yeah.
Who knows? In Workshop Simulator, allows you to repair, refurbish items using a range of restoration mechanics, such as disassembling, cleaning, sanding, and painting. The accompanying story will immerse you in the nostalgia of tinkering with your grandfather. That's tugging on the heart.
That's the sort of game I would normally love to play, but I'm too busy tinkering with different spoiler end plates.
Yeah.
.hack//g.u. It's not Bobby's Instagram name. Oh no. It's Last Recode Switch, March 11th. .hack//gu is back. This collection includes all 3 original .hack//gu titles, Rebirth, Reminisce, and Redemption, all fully restored and remasters, as well as an all-new 4th volume. .hack//gu.reconnection.
This is a long-standing series, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
And one that
as soon as I saw it, I actually, remembered it. Never played it, but knew of it.
I've never played it, but it's got an awful lot of heritage and provenance in the in the world of in that subsection of gaming, I believe. I think it's got like, I don't know, maybe this is community corrections, but something tells me Shin Megami Tensei is involved in it somewhere along the lines. Again, I could be completely wrong. I may be having one of those false memories. I did go to one of Prince Andrew's parties.
And here's my mummy right here.
This is my mummy.
I mean, might as well, WWE 2K22 for PS5, Xbox Series S, PS4, Xbox One, March 11th. Unleash dives, kickouts, and finishers with all your favorites, featuring WWE superstars and legends from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK.
Yes. That's going to be
good. We were just talking about wrestling the other day, playing Diablo 2. And I remember my mom got the 1 hour long Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, that's a good one as well.
And my mom was so upset when the time ran out and Bret Hart won. But then they said, no, we have to have a real winner. And they extended it. So it was like another hour, 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
First of all, these two men, legends, to do anything for an hour is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Yet alone do another 20 minutes of this.
Yeah.
Beating the hell out of each other.
Well, and also make it entertaining.
And then Shawn Michaels won. And my mom was absolutely devastated.
Was she a Bret Hart fan?
She loved Bret Hart. She was so upset that Shawn Michaels won. Even though she liked Shawn Michaels too. Bret Hart was her boy. She was conflicted, but we knew she was for Bret Hart.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was a Bret Hart fan as well.
So that just brought me back to like, it'd be cool playing as him again.
Listen, from what I've seen of the actual game, I've seen some previews and bits and bobs. It looks fantastic. So I'm sure the legends will be in there. There'll be a microtransaction. Bobby's a grown man, an adult man, as you say.
Bret Hart,
$5.99 in his pocket.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, download.
Why not download him? I could win 50 matches online, but $5.
Okay, let me tell you now. Oh, video. What am I picking? Lord of the Flies. Why not?
Ooh. See, I cheated. I kind of picked up the where the tire goes in the car?
Yeah.
He has like bootlegs for like movies out still in theater.
Yeah. Oh, right.
The Batman.
Oh, you've got a dodgy copy of Batman.
It's so dodgy. It's like 8K.
Wow.
And I don't even have an 8K player, and it looks phenomenal. Let me tell you something. Personally,
yeah,
loved it.
Best Batman,
in my opinion. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it a lot.
Okay, I'll go see it this weekend then. How's that?
It's almost surreal. Not like anything you've seen before. As far as Batman.
Okay.
Yeah, just him in the world is wow.
Is it good?
I think Paul Dano was great. But I think that kid's always great in everything he does. Wasn't really a huge fan of Robert Pattinson. But you know what? He can act. And you know what? He acted here and he was great.
Wow.
Yeah. Highly recommend.
Okay. Well, that makes my movie choice look like, a small fry probably in comparison. But there you go. With that, Stingray's gone. Let me tell you what I'm hoping to play, or stroke what I have been playing, though I've forgotten all the excitement. So James, the Work Experience Boy, was adamant that he wanted to have a game that me and him could play online, headsets. And I was like, oh, and he came up with Destiny 2, and I thought there's no reason why not. Let me say, the gunplay in that's great. It feels like Halo, but just with a new skin on it. I might be a bit disrespectful to Destiny fans, and if it is, I'm sorry, but that's the closest lineage I can find within it. Obviously, with Bungie making it, it's a bit of a easy example to use, but that's how it feels. It feels good.
Yeah.
But what you're meant to do in that game, I have no idea how to interact with the game, how to progress in the game, how to do anything in the game. Yeah, it's. I thought there was a story. There's no story. There's nothing.
Really?
Am I going in the wrong place, gamers? Someone tell me if I want to have a story with cutscenes. Am I in the wrong place for Destiny 2 for me and him on this? If not, fine. I'll find some other enjoyment in it. But just be quite nice to level up the characters while going on missions together and having a little bit more of a cohesive narrative, which I thought Destiny was. But there you go. Anyway, it's crossplay and that all works flawlessly. And like I say, the gunplay's fun. I just wish he's doing a big carry as well. He's like a pro gamer, really.
Mm-hmm.
He's carrying me. I just get the odd round off. He's like, you're really good at this. And then it shows the stats at the end and they're like probably a quarter of what he's done. It's like, yeah, I don't really do online shooters, but I'm here for you.
85% accuracy.
He's probably 10. I've got 10 and he's got 99. And what else? We've also been playing some Pokemon Sapphire, I think it is, the latest remake of a DS game one. And that's enjoyable. Just enjoy plodding through that. Again, that's turn-based, but I'm not offended by that at all. As for what I'm hoping to play, what with me going first and being terribly rude and all, because I had to put in the games that I've told you that I hadn't told you I've been playing at the start of the show.
Go for it, bro.
Just a bit more Gran Turismo, I think. In fact, a lot more. When you see 4 o'clock in the morning, you know that a game's good.
Yeah.
And
But
Horizon has given me that vibe, gave me those times as well. So there's been a lot of gaming.
Nothing's better than when you have an all-night session, which I haven't done in a long time. But when you're playing a game and you're like in the peak of winning and that sunshine is rising up, what feels better than that?
I'll tell you what feels worse than that. There's been a couple of times where I've like sort of started to doze off mid-race and I've been like, oh, you can get away with it in an open world game.
Yeah.
But in a racing game, it's not happening.
I mean, I have fallen asleep on the chair playing the game. Like fell off the chair as well.
Wow.
Yeah. When I fall asleep, bro, I'm out. I'm like a brick.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been drugged.
Just bam. Like when I know when I have to go to bed, and I have to get in there, and just bam, I just sink, and I'm out until I wake up.
Is it either I'm shutting down? Okay,
That's
I'll play
it.
the bedroom out.
Powering down,
like,
and that's it. That's it. Done.
Powering down.
Powering down. Yeah, I'm over. That's it.
Before we power you down, then, like a human android, tell me what you're hoping to play.
More Diablo 2.
Yeah.
And more Demon Souls. Yeah. Like I said, there's other games I want to get in there, but I feel like if at any point I play anything new that I have sitting there still in plastic, by the way,
beautiful.
I think I'm going to be really behind. And it's going to be very hard to put a game back in that I've been playing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at that point now.
That's not a nice feeling either, is it?
No, it's really difficult. Which I try to stay away from because I just normally play the games in order. And the sad thing is, for some reason, I jumped over Demon Souls a lot when I got it for my birthday, Christmas of 2020.
True. Yeah.
I just started playing it like 2022. I never do that.
Does it still hold up, especially
Breaking my own
considering
rules.
some of the games that we've had? Does it still hold up?
I think it looks beautiful. It plays exactly how it's supposed to. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it. It looks great. Can't really complain about it, at all, really.
Good.
But, I think it's fine. No issues.
Well, if that's it, it's time for me to say the immortal words, and that's all we have time for this week, listeners. As always, thank you for your time. We look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming. Remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do that counts. See you, Bobby.
Peace out, George.
Take care, guys.